I think there are some unique aspects of adoptee trauma that don't overlap, but yeah, I mean, lots of people grow up in homes where they're abused or neglected, and so yeah, that kind of trauma definitely affects adults. I see those kind of things all the time where yeah, people now who are adults and who are starting to raise their own kids or to try to have a relationship with their partner and don't know how to do it because they never saw a good example of that when they were growing up, and yeah, not understanding, why is it that I don't know, why is it that I can't trust my partner, or those kind of things, right? So yeah, definitely see lots of things like that in other adults as well, not just adoptees. But lots of people choose adoption because that's their only option of having a family and of having children, and so for parents like that, there's actually a lot of grief and loss involved in infertility, even yeah, just in infertility, but then if you throw in maybe multiple miscarriages over a few years, those kind of things can be really really hard on couples. Lots of couples relationships don't last when they go through things like that, and so really to try to help couples that are experiencing infertility and have experienced a lot of loss to be able to work through some of that grief really well before they bring in an adoptive child into their home who comes with a lot of their own trauma and a lot of their own challenges because of that. So that's part of the work that I would do with adoptive parents. The other part of it would be more of an educational role to really help adoptive parents to be able to understand the kinds of trauma and the kinds of issues and the kind of things that they could expect their adoptive child would struggle with, and how to really how to address that, and really how to help the child thrive as much as possible. So those are kind of the two main roles that I would see working with adoptive parents. One of the things that adopted children, well, and adults too, when they're adults, one of the things that they hear a lot growing up is, you should be really grateful that you were adopted, right? And where that's coming from is, if you wouldn't have been adopted, you would have grown up in a really horrible situation, whatever that was. But what that tells the child is that I should be grateful that I was taken from my family, the people that gave birth to me. I should be thankful that somebody else decided that I should be taken from them and put with this group of strangers, right? And it also makes them feel like they don't have permission to have any negative feelings towards their adoptive parents. And I mean, all children have negative feelings towards their parents. And if you feel like you can't, then what do you do with those negative feelings, right? And that's, yeah. Or when people say that to adoptees, you should be grateful. They're coming from, like, their motivations are good. They're not trying to be malicious or trying to hurt the adopted child, but people don't stop and think about what that sounds like to the adopted child then, right? Whether they're a child or an adult. And most of the time, by the time they're adults, adopted people have heard those kind of comments over and over and over again. Commonly repeated stat is about adoptees attempting suicide. And the stat is that adoptees are approximately 4 times more likely to attempt suicide in their life than non-adoptees.